Welcome to the Farmers Weekly News Review. I'm Caroline Stocks. Farm leaders are promising to continue fighting against the electronic identification of sheep after farmers held protests against the legislation. More than 5,000 farmers gathered outside a Council of Agricultural Ministers meeting in Luxembourg this week to try to force ministers to amend EID plans. The National Sheep Association says EID can't be justified and won't help disease control. Farmers across England are bracing themselves for another mapping fiasco as data from the Rural Payments Agency was branded worryingly inaccurate. The NFU says it's worried farmers will have problems claiming their 2010 single payment after hundreds of complaints were made about wrong data. The RPA claims it's ironed out problems it faced when it first calculated land in 2005. However, the NFU says the quality and accuracy of data that farmers have so far received is concerning. More farm businesses are being affected by the credit crunch, according to a survey from the NFU. 1 in 4 union members say they're at significant risk from the recession, up from just 1 in 6 last December. More than a third has approached their bank for a business overdraft, with 80% taking what's been offered. The NFU says the results showed farmers had underestimated the significance of credit problems. There was outrage when vegetarian Hilary Benn was appointed DEFRA Secretary 2 years ago. His response at the time was, "Judge me on what I do, not what I eat." So how does the farming industry feel he's performed? Isabel Davies reports.
Farmers Weekly has taken the 10 key policy areas that Hilary Benn has responsibility for, things like TB, disease control and food security, and given him marks out of 10 for each one. His final score? A rather lacklustre 35 out of 100. But we've also been seeking your views on his performance over the past 24 months, and we're getting some great feedback on the forums. A Cornishman says, "Undoubtedly, he has one of the worst jobs in the Cabinet, and like Beckett and Miliband before him, can't wait to get freed from the millstone that is DEFRA. But when we look back at this, we will inevitably remember someone who pandered to the whims of the single-issue groups and refused to listen to the industry." Jacobus adds, "It seems that Labour, and therefore Benn, assume that anything relevant to agriculture will be decided at an EU level. Well, in a lot of respects that's true, but it seems that when some new or updated directive is proposed, the UK agriculture team does not have sufficient detailed knowledge to effectively argue our case with the EU bureaucrats." If you'd like to join in, visit fwi.co.uk/2 years.
And finally, you may read Farmers Weekly every week, but do you think you know everything about it? Tim Ralph reports on some of the facts you might not be aware of.
Ronnie Barker was seen reading a copy in Porridge. A whole stack of them appear in the hit film Four Weddings and a Funeral, and you can read it as far afield as Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, these are some of the lesser known facts about Farmers Weekly. In fact, we've come up with 75 such curious facts as part of our 75th anniversary celebrations, which actually we mark this week. There are other things going on during the course of the year, including a special supplement with lots of extra information and bygone facts and figures, which is happening in the autumn. For the meantime, find out more and find out how you can get involved at fwi.co.uk/greatest.
That's it from me this week. For all the latest news and views, go to fwi.co.uk.